It is time yet again for video games. The video game Victoria 2 with the historical project mod properly affixed to it. We are playing as Serbia, and our glorious territory stretches from Bor in the east to Behak in the west. But our rule is being challenged by the vile Turkish menace as they try and re-annex our territory in the realm of Bosnia with the help of the Russian Republic and the tiny but very vital Principality of Montenegro, or whatever you would call it. I don't know, Duchy. I don't know what the proper thing. It just says Montenegro. Montenegro. Will we stand victorious against the Turks and, of course, their sinister French allies? If I had to guess, I'd say probably not. I mean, Russia can do well against the Ottomans. I don't think they can do well against the French. So it's all up to whether or not the French actually want to put troops over here, which they would have to get right of entry through quite a few countries to get to us. But, you know, they have a navy. They can land troops. In reality, you know, they could put people in French Algeria and they'd only have to go through Tunis. I mean, that's quite a march all the way around, but there is access. Will we even... Is it even worth fighting this? As always, I only have, like, 3,000 troops, so I feel like it'd almost be better to just see if I can get military access from Austria-Hungary and just retreat. That's what we'll do. Go up here to Warsaw. Hopefully not get attacked by these rebels. None of them are favorable to glorious Serbia, unfortunately. Oh, look at Montenegro doing what they can. Oh, I got attacked somewhere and then died. Oh well. It was bound to happen. I didn't even see what it was. And now we can field 0 troops. So that's everyone dead. All of our soldier pops. Which is, you know, fine since we're not funding them in the first place. It's all up to the Russians as far as I'm concerned. If we lose Bosnia, it's not that big of a deal. We did put some investment into it with 3 railroads, but that's not the biggest loss in the world. Oh yeah, 43,000 French troops on our soil. Okay. So yeah, we're probably most definitely going to lose Bosnia. But as long as we can maintain independence, I feel like it'll be okay. There are events later on that give me Serbian land anyway. I think those are like far away though. So as long as Turkey is weak, I think an event will pop that will grant me free territory. In this mod anyway, that wouldn't work in vanilla. Now, the Russians have a sizable military. They have the numbers, but do they have the technological superiority and discipline required to defeat the French troops? As far as I can see, they've only invested 44,000 over there anyway. I don't see any French troops elsewhere. I imagine they could devote more than that, but I don't know, like, how invested Russia is going to be to defend me. Oh man, they're about to not be a great power anymore. What happened there? I think like maybe all their industry got taken out because they have radical anarcho-liberals in charge and capitalists ruin their economy. Probs. That's sad. That's a sad way to go. The Ottoman liberation of Bosnia, they got 3%. Yeah, doesn't look good. I mean, it's possible we could get through this and win. Looks like the Russians are occupying quite a bit of territory, at least. But Bosnia is occupied. The Russians are trying to fix that. And then we have a blight of 1858. This is just around the country. We don't have prestige. I mean, yeah, we don't have prestige to lose. Our glass factory in Bosnia is closed down due to the occupation. Underground printing press. I don't want more militancy in my primary province. So we'll just go with harassed parties. Okay, there's a 35,000 stack in addition to that 40,000. And the French are also invading in from Poland. I feel like this would be a good time for like the North German Federation to, I don't know, maybe try and take the Alsace-Lorraine. But that's just me, you know, that's just what I might be tempted to do. Yeah, they don't have any truces with them. So on some point, at some level, like, why not? Do we want to go with all allowed rights? All legal immigrants, regardless of culture, are allowed to vote, acquiring citizenship. That'll increase our assimilation rate and immigration attraction. I don't see why not. Not like anyone would want to move to Serbia right now. Yeah, these troops up here are going to be uncontested. Unless this can be turned into something. Even then, like, if they match the numbers, they'll probably lose in a straight-on fight. But, whatever the case may be, we can build railroads now. Increase our error. Let's go with romanticism. That's a pitiful prestige. We have, 0 points and everything. And my roommates are being very noisy in the other room, so I apologize if that bleeds into the audio. I mean, we don't need to be encouraging anything there anymore. I don't think we even can, since... Or, I don't know if encouraging anything works when you're under occupation. Yeah. It has to be owned by us, otherwise it won't work. Address to Parliament. Yeah, we need to lose 1 militancy pretty bad. That's just a bunch of war weariness and dissatisfaction with how it's going, which is understandable. Looks like most of Poland is occupied. The Russians are losing the battle over here. And it looks like they are being pushed back over in the Turkish front. We'll go with censored press. Get all of the reforms we can before going with the votes. Ottoman lands. Okay, yeah, we've lost. Well, that's to be expected. It was a good run with Sarajevo, but there'll be opportunities in the future, I'm sure. Maybe when Russia rebuilds its strength, maybe we'll ally with someone who's actually good, who might defeat the French and the Ottomans and the Austrians. But until then, this is what we got. And now we need to... What is going on? My screen just went black. What? Hello? Okay, I'm not getting any more audio. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second and see what that was. Sorry. Alright, yeah, sorry about that. Something happened with my audio devices. Anyway, now we have to re-examine our devastated country that has lost over half of its population as a result of losing Bosnia. It's a shame. I feel maybe we left it with maybe a few more pissed off Serbians to give the Ottomans a headache. But, then again, probably not. So, we have 1% bureaucrats, which is efficient. And as far as intellectuals go, 1.3%, whereas 2% is optimal. So we will go back to encouraging intellectuals, hoping that it does not take away from our currently fostered bureaucrats. This budget will probably have to be addressed, since now we have a lot less tax revenue. And again, we should be spending a lot less, too, since we have less people to educate and administer. Let's go with 80. $80 across the board. Even these rich boys up here. We get something out of them. We'll see how that goes. Everyone will starve, die, and leave. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be any noticeable impact on their well-being. We'll get it back, I'm sure. American Civil War is underway. I wonder who's gonna win. Probably these guys. It's a messed up map. Like, only this part of Oklahoma decided to stay with the Union. They still don't have the Gadsden Purchase. Free press for everybody. Get all the newspapers you want. Tax efficiency went up. It's good. We're not at an effective tax of 23.35. With maximum administrative efficiency. And almost enough intellectuals. Our literacy is now 7.4%. I mean, that's a lot better than our start of 3%. Okay, so we'll get more research points and then education efficiency again, and then maybe freedom of trade for mining and more farming output. Oops, need to actually hit the technology. Yeah. And that will give us chemotherapy or something. That'll give us an increased chance of getting chemotherapy, which is less army attrition, but not that big of a deal. Already got vaccination, that's the one you need out of medicine. State-controlled trade unions. That's what the people are craving. Here in 1860. Maybe in some of these other Hey, look at that! I like seeing that. That's good to see. See this big... That's what you should have done earlier. Now they're allied with... Okay, they're at war with, and they're protected by France still. And they have a truce with us until the 5th of April, 1864. Which is, you know, that war is probably going to be over by that time. They're never going to accept an alliance with us, because they have too many alliances. And they just don't wanna, at some point, you know? They're just... Why? Why would they? And that's a good question. Since we've already proven that we're not going to defend ourselves and rely mostly on the big boys to do it. Our relations are still maxed. They are the German Empire. And our relations with the French need... Well, might as well just focus on increasing relations with Britain at this point. Oh, what's that? Forward! See, Northern Serbia, all laborers in Northern Serbia 20% more socialist. All poor strata in Northern Serbia become 10% more socialist. So that's basically our entire population, 10% more socialist. More or less. Which is fine. Non-socialist trade unions. This game, by the way, is not going anywhere near as well as the original game. That gave me the confidence to attempt this Let's Play. But I don't know, there's still a lot of time left. We'll see how it goes. There are more events to happen in the future. And they got Sonora. But just this little part. Somehow. How did that happen? Is there an event for that? Still, neato. And all trade unions are allowed. Let's see, and I can build railroads across the nation. Or mostly just, you know, this is what I can afford at the moment. I'm not sure what the accent on the Z is supposed to do to it. As ice. Use ice. I don't know. And after this, I think I should look up, like, in the files, like, what the event that gives me Ottoman territory actually does. Because it's just a big historical, this being a historical project mod, like the European powers all decide what to do about the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, and they usually just decide to, you know, balkanize the Balkans. And voting for the landed. Well, no, we are no longer an absolute monarchy. We do not need 3% intellectuals. So, we have 1% bureaucrats, 3% intellectuals. So, I don't know, we could encourage socialism. You don't really ever need to encourage farmers. Could encourage socialists to get socialists in charge. But I don't know, we'll see how these elections go in the first place. Since I can just pick whoever I want as, not necessarily an absolute monarch, but a pretty powerful monarch. So, artisans, maybe? Since we don't have craftsmen, we don't really have the money to buy factories or the, you know, political power. A semi-constitutional monarchy. That's us. So wait, will we get a new flag? I like the other one. I mean, this one's basically the same thing, just a different placement of the central emblem. Let's see, state capitalism. Yeah, our literacy jumped up a couple percentage points. That's exciting. It's been decades, and this is the best we can do. Protectionism. Everyone loves protectionism. Well, geez. Hello. Rebellions. Constantly in Russia. Seems like there are a lot of liberals in the upper strata of our society, which has given them a victory. Of course, we will now do... well... This is the voters' ideologies, this is the people's ideologies. So I'm going to move more towards that. Although based on representatives are determined by the collective ideologies of the population. So we'll do that one first, and then work our way down to universal voting franchise. Let's see here. Functionalism, so education can continue to prosper. They've gutted our taxation. Yeah, more RGO output is what we need. 10% more liberal in all Serbia. I don't want that. Northern Serbia, all pops in Northern Serbia changed by 1%. Don't want that either. I'd rather have them be liberal than be dead. To increase these relations. And pick a different party that's not going to bankrupt us. Like the Nationalists. That's a party. There we go. Making money again. Too many great power allies? Is Russia a great power again? Nope. Not quite. Unless they're about to be. I need diplomacy. Show great powers? Yeah, they're about to be. Still, that's quite a fall for the Russians to make. Democracy's not really helping them out any, huh? It's these damn liberals. And their free trade. Who wants that? Well, they're cordial with me, so they're putting some influence into my nation here. So if I do manage to get into their sphere of influence, I'll have to dissolve my alliance with Russia and try and get good with Germany. Weighted wealth. So we're getting closer and closer to the people's ideologies, which is still slanting liberal here. But even if they do vote against the wishes of me, the elite, I'm still the one who decides at the end of the day. The democracy is really just for show. Our railroads are being constructed. More liberals? Man. Look at that. You can go from Belgrade to Bor. Woo! Across that river. You can almost go to Kragujevac. That'll be fun. And you know what? I'll expand our railroads over to Uzis. And everyone will have a grand old time. You can get anywhere in our tiny little Serbia here. That'll be swell. Infrastructure. That's the future. I don't know, we could have 60% more coal production. Should be an easy tech to just pump out. Hey, 11%, we're in the double digits in literacy. I don't know why our projected daily balance is so low. Oh, because of the construction, okay. That makes more sense. Because of all the railroads. It's not actually that bad. Wealth. And, I should hold off on getting too far down here and get some of these other policies enacted, get down to secret ballots and any other stuff I need to do, proportional representation. Okay, so we got that. Let's go to commerce and get freedom of trade, because we still need that. I forgot about that one. That'll increase our RGOs a little bit more. And look, we're exporting coal again. People need coal. It's not a whole lot, but it's something. We're competing on the global market of coal. Selling glass, too. These artisans getting to work. I don't even really know how to look at that. Like, yep, coal, glass. Getting some wine out of here. Let's see, sympathy strike, province strike. Man, that seems bad. We'll do the one that lasts the least amount of time. January 1866, or 17th of September 1866. This will increase our militancy, though. I'll go with this one. Because 3 militancy seems like a lot. Then again, it's just all of our craftsmen, laborers, clerics, and artisans, so it's not that that's not a huge chunk of our population. It's 6% of our population is militant. I'll go with that one. Never mind, that was a bad idea. Now we're over 1. 1 militancy. And it's ticking up, not down. Okay, well. Lesson learned. And I don't know, just get another RGO increase with some market structure. Oh, game slowed down there for a second. Oh, because it's auto-saving, okay. That's what you get, France. Messing with Serbia like that. Germany's pretty cool. Not that we had anything to do with it, but still. Japan! That's all I have to say about that. The Serb Red Star. What is this horrid piece of paper? Oh, poor strata. Oh, rich strata gain 1 consciousness, become 5% more socialist. That'd be weird to have more rich people being socialist then. poor. But I don't need the poor people being more militant, so that's kind of where I'm going to have to go with it for now. If I can get like a forward magazine, that's how you get your people to be socialist. Without many consequences. So yeah, harassment of political parties. Man, time is on our side. That's what we're going to do with this one, this time. Our militancy is going up. The Turks seem to be at war. Control of Ottoman Moldavia would now be a good time to... Oh, they're still allied with France. And France probably is not going to attack Germany anytime soon. So they have a military rank of 3. They have a military rank of 2. Meanwhile, Russia is still very messed up about the last time, and this isn't a big enough war to really knock the Ottoman Empire down a peg or anything. So I'm going to have to hold off on that one, as much as it pains me. Build another railroad here. And we could think about expanding our fortifications, because even if we aren't able to build a great big military, we can at least slow occupying forces down while the other powers, get to us to help, or deoccupy our lands. That would require me to start researching more into the army, strategic military, or mobility, point defense system, and all that to get actual good forts, and even still, forts are pretty much as expensive as factories, and I'd rather build those at this point. I feel like, 13% literacy, maybe we're ready for some craftsmen. What can we even build? A glass factory to use up our coal? It takes 14 coal a day. How much do we produce? We produce 12.9 coal a day. I don't know, maybe we'll hold off on that until we can actually produce the coal that the factory would need. Which would be probably more research into coal production here. I do not want to lose more prestige. Population growth minus 1%. Man, that sucks. But yeah, I'm not losing any more prestige. Putting my foot down. We got 7 prestige. We gotta hold on to that. Oh, and by the way, Britain. You know who you like? You like Serbia. Oh, look at that. The nationalists won the election. Everyone, see what they did? We proved ourselves with the budget. Everyone loves the nationalists. Yeah, we'll do that one. And then see where that gets us. We're losing 1.5 thousand people a day. Or, every 30 days, rather. Full citizenship. And continue the whole increasing relations over here thing. No residency. I don't like residency. And okay, we have maximum relations with the Russians, the Germans, and the British. The other one we would need would be in Europe, Sardinia, Piedmont, or 2 Sicilies, or Belgium. Belgium is on the side of France. 2 Sicilies seems unaffiliated. Sardinia, Piedmont also seems unaffiliated with the other great powers. So it would be just me deciding which one is most likely to actually form Italy, if either of them end up forming Italy. Let's see, militarily, Piedmont is ranked 10. 2 Sicilies is stronger but they don't have a border with Austria. And I think there are more events down the road that increase Piedamont's size. And it's not that big of a difference, really. 51 to 56. Well, I don't know. It don't seem like a big deal. Like, I've got good relations with the ones that kind of matter the most. Are we in the sphere of influence of Germany? German Empire. Still cordial with us. Meanwhile, Britain is not putting enough influence in us. We're neutral towards Britain, I guess, because I don't see us in this big list of stuff they got going on. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, well. I don't know, might as well start trying to repair relations with France. No reason not to. Those diplomatic points are just gonna sit there anyway. And I guess when it comes to Italy, I'll just wait until Italy actually forms for realsies, and then see what I can do. Then again, if I start doing a crises, which is going to start in the next few years, I'd want better relations. Nope. Nationalists. Proportional representation. I don't know, then again, that didn't mess up our taxes too bad, but we still need to be able to, get these railroads up and running, and build one of these factories eventually, once we have enough coal production. It's over here. 16.1. We do have enough coal production now. So... Yep. Build. Glass factory requires 14. Cement requires 12. Let's see. Anything else we could build instead that would be more beneficial? Or, you know, sell at a higher volume. We don't have enough. We definitely don't have enough iron. We'd have to import that. But as much as steel probably trades for on the international market, maybe, it's 4.9 versus the sale of glass, which is 3.1. I don't know, it's probably... I don't know, we'll build this glass factory so that we have something going on. I think that's maybe what we need to do. Let's just check what cement is going for these days. 14.0, cement, no, that's fertilizer. Cement is 16.1 and going down. So would it actually be more beneficial to build a cement factory? I don't know, the high, I guess that's the high is 21. Maybe that's what that means. Okay, no, that's just like the graph, like how high it is. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll try cement because you need cement to build factories and everyone loves building factories anyway. So yeah, we'll try that out, and it requires less coal so we can still sell some. Daily output, daily input, so we'd make a profit of 8.6, is if that's what that means. We'll go for it and start. Well, we need to build the factory, I guess, before we can encourage the craftsmen to come. I can wait. Our industrial future is on the way. And more education efficiency. Like those longer texts are gonna require more longer amounts of time, but we really need to get that literacy is still abysmal. Like, it's almost the 1870s, and most of our population still cannot read. Meanwhile, it doesn't seem like any more great powers are really taking interest in us. The German Empire is just going to keep us nice, nestled, and cordial. Meanwhile, the Russians are now out completely of the great power race. Liberals protest harassment. All pops in Serbia gain... Okay, all liberals gain 4 militancy. We will select gerrymandering, and our conservatives will gain 2 militancy. So no matter what, we're getting militancy. Let's go with this one, because that's lesser, and we get a free reform out of it. But now we have to deal with this province strike, and we'll go with the one that gives me more consciousness. Which, I'm still not clear what consciousness does, so that's another thing I'll have to look up. Alright, well, I think I'll end this episode now. We lost Bosnia, but we gained a cement factory and some railroads. And hey, we made a friend. And an enemy. We'll see what we do next time. Probably more of this. Waiting for Ottoman weakness, waiting for French weakness, waiting for Russian strength, waiting for German strength, or maybe even British strength to come and save us. Or maybe one day we'll just get a huge bunch of population out of nowhere. Or maybe, we'll just get gifted all of our territory in an event. I'll look into it. Until then, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'm trying to post these every Friday. That's kind of how it's been going, so be there. Or watch it, a year after the fact, which that's where most of the views come from. However, whenever time you do it, thank you.